outside again. Thankful for life and the joy that it brings. Pray to God that today never ends. Holding a vibe with me friends, and we out here. Sweet soca playing. With every hand now we fetting away. Don't give a damn what nobody say. You could be friend or enemy. Just keep on doing what you wanna do. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Could do whatever, I don't really care. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Cause we don't hear vibes. Shelly drinks, plenty moving like family. Vibes, Shelly drinks, plenty bad mind, keep your energy. Cause we don't hear vibes. Shelly drinks, plenty moving like family. Vibes, Shelly drinks, plenty bad mind, keep your energy. Yeah. Cause when I out on the road, nothing can stop me, I don't want go home. The drinks got me in full beast mode. I beg the bartender for more, so please bad boy, keep your gun on your waist. The only shots in the drinks on my face. And I don't care what nobody say. You could be friend or enemy. Just keep on doing what you wanna do. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Could do whatever, I don't really care. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Cause we don't hear vibes. Shelly drinks, plenty moving like family. Vibes, Shelly drinks, plenty bad mind, keep your energy. Cause we don't hear vibes. Shelly drinks, plenty moving like family. Vibes, Shelly drinks, plenty.
Greetings and salutations one and all. Welcome to the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. It's a real talk night.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
And it's Thanksgiving Eve.
Na 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 na.
Oh, well, you see, there are some people that only give thanks one time for the year.
24, and I'm outside again.
And then there are others
Life and the joy that it brings.
that give thanks all the time.
Holding a vibe with me friends. And
Whichever one you are,
sweet so
happy Thanksgiving to you.
we hand now we fetting away. Don't give a damn what nobody say. You could be friend or
I
enemy.
want to say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Those locked in on TuneIn Radio,
Please don't kill my vibe.
much love to you.
Kill my.
Big ups to the massive that are hailing from New York,
Just don't kill my vibe.
chilling out
Kill my vibe. Just don't kill.
on Reggae Pulse Radio out of Long Island, New York.
Plenty moving like family.
Blessings to you.
Shelly drinks.
DJ Atomic Force and crew, much love.
Cause we don't hear vibes. Shelly drinks.
Blessings to the New Jersey massive.
Family. Vibes. Shelly drinks. Plenty bad.
Those hanging with the motivator,
Yeah. Cause when I out on
New Jersey's finest.
stop me, I don't want go home. The drinks got
Blessings, bro.
it's more. I beg the bartender for more. So please bad boy.
I don't know what he's bringing for Double Trouble Thursday tomorrow.
Only shots in the drinks on my face. And I don't care what
Only way to find out is to log in
Learn
9 p.m. Eastern.
what you wanna do. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't.
And this is a big party weekend for him. Check him out on Saturday for Motivation Saturdays at noon. The Motivator. Dina, is you going to be in problems this weekend? I don't know how you're going to spread yourself out. Big ups to those who are locked in on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. I know Mr. Lindsay is still celebrating his Earth Day, you know, like myself. Yeah, some of the best people are born in November, trust me. Ask around. I want to say big ups to those who are locked in on PEMGTV.com. Those on Zeno FM. Those hanging out on Clubhouse. Those on Facebook Live, welcome. Those on YouTube Live.
Just keep on doing what you wanna do.
And of course those right here at the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.
I don't really care. Just don't kill
So glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you, and you have my word, I wouldn't even try. Last year this time I was chilling in Texas. Yeah, last year this time I was celebrating Thanksgiving in Texas, giving thanks for an opportunity to hang out with family.
Cause when I out on the road, nothing can stop me, I don't want to go home. The drinks got me full.
This year I'm keeping it local.
End up for more, so please bad boy, keep your gun on your waist. The only shots in the drinks on my face, and I don't care what nobody say. You could be friend or enemy, just keep on.
Want to say much respect and thanks to my segment sponsors, Palsy Media Group and Big in Moment Express. Let's go ahead and give them a call.
Could do whatever.
They'll do anything you see here on kevinstew.com and more, including hosting your website. Well, they provide you with video services, photo streaming, and ads. What kind of streaming? Live streaming. I'll tell you about a party, a graduation, a wedding, a funeral, a seminar, you name it. You have a broadcast like mine, they can hook you up with streaming services. On a secure platform, whether yours or theirs. It's a matter of a phone call, 754-999-1140. That's 754-999-1140. Tell them Kevin Stew sent you. I want to say thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you, bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience. So go ahead and give her a call, schedule your appointment. 954-655-9000. That's 954-655-9000. She only has one request outside of paying her, that is you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. Yeah, that's a request now because I always fall asleep on her table. Althea is also a US vet, so you know she's true to her word, right? I want to say big ups to Reggae Global Entertainment. Reggae Global will act as a booking agent, take care of your tour management, handle your business registration, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and much, much more. Give them a call, 954-804-8199. That's 954-804-8199. And tell them you heard about them on the night shift with DJ Kevin Steele. I want to say thanks to McNeil Trucking. McNeil Trucking is a veteran-owned, licensed and insured moving company in the state of Florida. So you want to move from the Keys up to Jacksonville, you want to move from Naples over to Palm Beach, you want to move from Pompano to Pensacola, and any point in between. You want to move some things into storage. You don't have the transportation, you don't have the manpower. Don't worry. You have the name, you have the number. McNeil Trucking. 954-406-9740. That's 954-406-9740. With McNeil Trucking, your goods are in good hands. Call them up today. Tell them Kevin Stew sent you. This is Zone of Thalia kicking us off. And the track is called Don't Kill My Vibe. With good reason. Out here vibing and thing. Yeah, man, don't come out here killing anybody vibe. Idiot thing that. Hey cuz, how you doing? I love you too, my cuz. What's the weather like down there in Jamaica right now?
Doing what you wanna do, just don't kill my vibe. Don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Could do whatever, I don't really care.
So tonight in Real Talk, we're talking a little bit about envy and jealousy. I know everybody have somebody that grudge them, right? Everybody have somebody that they're envious of, or somebody that they're jealous of, or something to that effect. But you're always told, don't do it, don't envy, don't grudge, don't be jealous, all of those things. It's a bad thing to do. Don't do it. But with everything, there's a yin and a yang. There's a good, there's a bad, there's an indifferent. It's just a matter of finding your little balance, right? Now, first off, let me clear up some things as we're talking about some good from envy tonight. The phone lines are open, and you can go ahead and use up the phone line at any time. The phone line is open. 773-789-STEW gets you in touch. That's 773-789-7839. You see the number scrolling across the bottom of your screen right there. You can call, text, WhatsApp, Telegram. They all work from wherever you are in the world. You can use that number and get in touch with me. 773-789-7839. Now, I want to make it very clear. There's a little bit of a difference between envy and jealousy, although most people use them interchangeably, right? And for whatever reason, some people may get into a little bit of problems with it. And I don't blame people. It's easy to make that kind of a mistake because of how close the two are, but there's a difference. So before I get too deep into this whole good that can come from envy and jealousy, let me get some things clear. They both involve a feeling of desire for what another person has. Envy and jealousy. So let's get some definitions out there. Here's a scenario. Your coworker has gotten a raise, it bothers you because you really wish you had gotten one also, but you didn't. Is what you're feeling jealousy or envy? Again, two feelings are similar, but the words are often used to convey slightly different things, according to dictionary.com. And it's mainly involving whether the feeling is hostile or malicious. We're gonna quickly look at the similarities and differences of the two. So first off, what is jealousy? Jealousy is a feeling of resentment, bitterness, or hostility towards someone who has something that you don't. And this could be general success and achievement, a trait, a social advantage, a material possession, or a relationship. And the list goes on. What matters is that the person or the other person has the thing and you want it. And this makes you resentful of them. When used in the context of romantic relationships, jealousy more specifically refers to a feeling of suspicion of or uneasiness that often comes from one's partner giving or being given positive attention by others. Envy now is a negative feeling of desire centered on someone who has something that you do not. Envy can also be a verb, meaning to feel this way towards someone. Now, both the noun and the verb imply that you want to be in the other person's position, to have what they have. And like jealousy, envy can be centered on any number of things, tangible or intangible. Envy can be described as a mix of admiration and discontent, but it is not necessarily malicious. It can be seen as a part of a compliment, as in you've worked so hard to achieve your success. I really envy you. That's envy. It really is. Thanks to Shakespeare, William Shakespeare, there's a strong association between jealousy and envy and the color green. Yeah, you know, they're talking about the green-eyed monster. Yeah. The phrase green with envy means feeling a strong sense of covetousness. And this is coveting what someone else has. Shakespeare described envy as a green sickness in the play Antony and Cleopatra. The term green-eyed monster is a way of referring to jealousy. The first written record of the phrase comes from Shakespeare's Othello, which is known for its themes of jealousy. And in the play, jealousy is said to be the green-eyed monster which doth mock the meat it feeds on. The phrase may allude to cats, which can have green eyes and are known for playing with their prey. The phrase green-eyed can also be used by itself to mean jealous. So, what then is the difference between the two? Some people may have picked up on it, some people may not. Both jealousy and envy can involve tangible things, possessions, for example, and intangible ones, like status or position, skills, relationships. Although jealousy and envy are sometimes used interchangeably, a distinction is often made relating to the amount of negativity. Simply feeling upset that you don't have what someone else does and wishing you were in their position, this is usually considered to be envy. And in that hypothetical situation about the co-worker when we started, that is more like envy. In contrast, feelings of inner resentment and the outward hostility that sometimes results from such feelings are both thought to stem from jealousy. It is often said that envy can turn into jealousy, and the point at which it does may not be so obvious. One distinction that sometimes is sometimes made is that jealousy centers its negative focus on the person who has the thing that you don't, while envy is more centered on the desire for the thing. It may not seem like much of a distinction, but there is. One is the thing, and one is the person with the thing. Now, of course, jealousy can be about the person and the thing, strangely enough, just to muddy the waters some more. And so the main difference is usually considered to involve how negative the feeling is. If you can measure that kind of feeling, that kind of negativity. A practical difference between jealousy and envy is that jealousy is always a noun, while envy can be a noun or a verb. And that's for the grammar scholars out there who would use a distinction like that. Bless up 887. Welcome. Now, one final difference is that jealousy and the adjective form jealous are also used more specifically in the context of romantic relationships in a way that envy and envious are not. So that too is another distinction. So like my cousin is saying, you know, Jamaica right now is really nice. It's not too hot. You know, there are people that are in the central part of the United States and in the northern parts of the United States that would be envious of Sharon being in Jamaica. because the weather is nice. Well, you could envy me too because I'm in South Florida and the weather is gorgeous here. Then you may have some that are jealous of us because we have it. Now, the ones that are jealous of us because we have this wonderful weather, these are the people that would wish that a hurricane would come and wipe us off the face of the earth. The ones who are envious would wish that they could be here. You see the difference? Good. Now, in the midst of all of this, you have to ask the question, how can something good come out of it? Because there's nothing that I said in that analogy that paints a pretty picture. It just looks dark and gloomy. In fact, that's more like a dark green image. Since we're using green to describe envy and jealousy, that right there, if we're using colors, that's dark green. And that would, I think, paint the big picture, right? Now, we're gonna take a quick little break in just a few moments, and in addition to using up the phone line, I want people to jump into the stew pot. Those of you wondering what the stew pot is what others call a chat room. But because we're fancy on kevinstew.com, it's a stew pot where we keep things interactive and bubbling. So come to kevinstew.com and you are there. You don't need to register. You don't need to offer your firstborn, an internal organ, or a blood sacrifice. Just go to kevinstew.com. You'll show up as an anonymous person. You're given this everlastingly long number. Don't worry about it. You can change it and put your name if you want to. If you want to be a little bit more personal in the stew pot, you know, add your own little personal flavor. Yeah, you can change your name, or you can just keep it as anonymous, and then I'll address you as such. But the phone number 773-789-STEW, that is available at all times during the broadcast. 773-789-7839. Call your friends, tell your friends, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too. Those are you jealous of, those that you envy. Tell everybody that Real Talk is on. And we're live right now on kevinstew.com. So be a part of it. Yeah? We're going to take a quick break. As we go off on the break, I want to try to encourage you to get your copy of the book, the audio book. And this is my very first recorded audio book. It is titled Empowered: Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense. And it was authored by Jonathan Field. Really cool guy. I had him as a guest on this broadcast a couple of months ago. You can check it out in the archive. Empowered. The book is available on Audible. And if you don't want to go through the process of searching Audible for the book, no worries. Just go to kevinstew.com. There's an image of the book cover right there. Just click on it, and it takes you straight to where you would go to get your copy. Go get your copy today. Empowered: Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we say goodbye to those on Facebook Live and on Clubhouse, but the broadcast continues right here, kevinstew.com and affiliates. We'll be right back.
Policy Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsing Media Group.
I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid.
In English,
And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
the only thing I didn't learn in school today
The only thing I didn't learn today
The only thing I didn't learn
is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Ladies, lovers of the music, it is here, the brand spanking new album from Ed Robinson and Ian Sweetness, a tribute to Teddy Pendergrass. Amazing. 10 blazing tracks, 2 amazing singers going hit for hit, classic for classic. A tribute to Teddy Pendergrass, Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson. Oh man. It's out now. Available everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your music, it is there. A tribute to Teddy Pendergrass, brand spanking new, Ian Sweetness, and Robinson. Ladies, gentlemen, you've got to have this in your collection. Get it now. Available everywhere. Bruv, my last baby already gone off to college, mate. Is what this is send come gimme, man. Is a big album still, I love it. Big up Ed Robinson, Ian Sweetness, but this better come with a contraceptive.
It's Christine representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin's 2 and the night shift radio show. Yo, it at the thing, turn up the thing loud. Whoa, DJ Kevin's 2 have the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line behind the dark clouds. DJ Kevin's true, believe him, and that's no doubt. Salute the night shift radio show, Christine, to heart it up. Loud, kill the beast.
Send roses by bottles of champagne. Your favorite, I'm great at keeping a promise. Wrote letters, 10 pages to tell ya I'm in it, I wanna stay. And I'll show you in every way. You're skeptical still, well, I'm loving on you. And I'm super confused how my actions don't convince you. You're skeptical still, so I'll remind you. If I loved you, you know you couldn't mistake it if you tried. If I loved you, you know you'd see it even if you're blind. It's bigger than the world, deeper than the ocean, hotter than the sun, lower than the love. So if I love you, you know. Get takeout, stop binging on old films. Get dressed up, we go out. It's hard to make a choice. We're both indecisive. All I know, I'm in it, I wanna stay. And I'll show you in every way. You're skeptical still, well, I'm loving on you. And I'm super confused how my actions don't convince you. You're skeptical still, so I'll remind you. You're not alone. If I loved you, you know you couldn't told you I love you, I do. I never told you. It's easy to say, the harder to show you what I mean. So you just gotta believe me. You gotta believe me. I know you believe me.
The sound of Royce bringing us back from the break. Check is called If I Loved You. So if I loved you, you wouldn't know. Does that mean that you wouldn't be jealous? I don't think being loved affects your feelings of envy or jealousy, because the people who are actually the ones feeling envy and jealousy are usually the ones who are actually loved. Strangely enough. So, you know, jealousy, since jealousy is usually associated with relationships, the person feeling jealous is more often than not loved by the person that they're, cause the feeling of jealousy is associated with. I'm not saying it is because of them that they're jealous, but it's associated with that person. So they're jealous because their partner is giving someone else a little bit of attention, and they're jealous of it because all the attention should go to them. Yeah, things like that. But it doesn't mean that their partner doesn't love them. Their partner loves them. But that's why they're their partner. But it doesn't stop them from feeling jealous. Weird. According to Lifehack, jealousy is often seen as a negative emotion or a bad trait to have. It is usually synonymous with actions such as revenge or bitterness, especially when it triggers a certain energy within someone. In romantic scenarios, the idea of someone being jealous of their partner talking to another person is a typical example. And perhaps you see someone else with something you desperately want but don't have. Jealousy can lead some of us to make decisions we later regret, or at least cause us to become cold and bitter. I've seen that happen. But there are also times when experiencing that feeling of envy can flick a switch inside us. That yearning for something we don't have can trigger us to fuel that determination to get what we want. Now, you notice there's the interchanging use of envy and jealousy, which is why I initially went about defining the two and differentiating and showing the similarities. So, can we then look at jealousy a little bit differently? Jealousy and envy. Can it actually be a good thing to feel envious? Could we use envy and jealousy to our advantage? Now, you should start thinking. Because as we talked about before, we recognize that there is a subtle difference between jealousy and envy. So, with recognizing this difference, when you break it down, envy is rooted in fear. It is the fear of feeling weak, powerless, or less than. Advertisers all know about this and try and they tap into the envy lurking in our subconscious to get us to compete with others and spend money to essentially keep up with the Joneses. Brilliant thing that these advertisers do. I don't hate them for it at all. There's an interesting quote from Helmut Schoch's book, Envy States. And it reads, envy is a drive which lies at the core of a man's life as a social being, and which occurs as soon as two individuals become capable of mutual comparison. He also notes, it is the great regulator in all personal relationships. Fear of arousing it curbs and modifies countless actions. Often, if someone shines a spotlight on an accomplishment of ours, there's a need to counteract this by mentioning someone's misfortune to balance it out. The negativity around envy is born out of comparisons, which only become stronger within a close-knit society and people with similar and comparable backgrounds to us. It is important to perceive envy as an indicator to where your focus is and where it is guiding you. It's an opportunity to stand back and reevaluate your mindset and what you want in life. So, what then is this feeling of envy saying to you? What is it telling you? Is there a certain direction you want to follow? Why are you having these feelings? Understand that when you feel envy, it is not about the other person or circumstance. It's fundamentally about you. It's time to question yourself. Not in a judgmental way, but rather a means to focus on what needs to change within yourself in order to get what you want. Envy is an illusion. It is not about reality, but all about our own perception. Once we understand this, we can use this as fuel for motivation and changing our mindset towards ourselves and our situation. I spoke about jealousy in a broadcast a while back. And I raised the issue of I presented myself as a part of the broadcast. And I've said it on a number of occasions. I used to be a jealous person. And as per our definition and differentiation of jealousy and envy, it was clearly in relation to people that I used to deal with, whether on an intimate level or friends that I had that were given attention elsewhere. I used to be jealous. I wonder why I wasn't getting all this attention and until I became an adult. So teenage into young adulthood, I would experience these episodes of jealousy from time to time. And into my more mature adulthood, I started looking into certain things. When I started doing this broadcast, Real Talk, in the night shift with DJ Chemistry, I started looking at things like relationships and how we navigate them and how we do things the way we do, why we do them the way we do, things like that. And jealousy happened to be one of them. When I started to look at different types of relationships and how to navigate it. And I realized something very important. Just what they just said about envy. It has something to do with the person who's experiencing that envy. Just like jealousy, it has something to do with you because you're comparing yourself. And once you start doing that, you tend to find all your flaws. Here is what they're saying about envy being a good thing, or possibly a good thing. You can take that and use it to fuel you becoming a better person. Now, of course, as it relates to jealousy, one of the things that I had said about that in that broadcast is, why are you comparing yourself with others? What do you feel you are lacking? And those were questions that I had to ask myself as I dealt with addressing my jealousy. I had to ask those questions. Why am I comparing myself with someone else? Okay, so I do not have that thing, but they don't, whomever that is, doesn't have this thing that I have, or they can't do this thing that I can do. And even if they can't do it as good as me. These are some of the things that will help you over that little hump. Because now you have to recognize some of the things that you are good at. You have to recognize some of the things that you have. Things that you can be grateful for as we go through into this Thanksgiving period. Give thanks for the little things. Recognize the little things. And recognize that you are good at some of the little things that you do. If it is related to your partner, and you're experiencing this feeling of jealousy, the person is still your partner. They're with you. So why are you feeling jealous? What are you jealous of? You're jealous of them being with you? Does that make sense? So these are, if you're one to be dealing with bouts of jealousy, bouts of envy, these are some of the questions that you probably need to ask yourself, and the kind of mindset you need to get into to help navigate you through this space. How do you go about using your envy to your advantage? Lifehack says, when feelings of envy come up in your life, question yourself. What can I learn from this person's success? What's been stopping me from thinking bigger with my life and not achieving what they've achieved? Have I set the right standards for my own success? Have I appreciated what I already have achieved? Or have I just dismissed milestones? Am I not getting recognition because I have been envious of others rather than recognizing their successes positively? These things can actually deprive you of your rewards, being envious of others. Embracing our negative emotion is key because they're there to show us changes we need to make. Envy and jealousy opens up doors that we need to acknowledge and walk through. When we realize envy is more about us, we can understand that it's really us acknowledging others' fortunes instead of our own. Jean Vanier stated that envy comes from people's ignorance of or lack of belief in their own gifts. Therefore, the best cure for envy is prosperity. And the best thing about envy is the opportunity for motivation and a change in your life. If you're feeling the emotion of envy strongly, it may be an important indicator to let you know there are perspectives about your own life that you need to reevaluate. Use it for motivation. Use it for positivity. Rather than the negative and powerless charge we're led to believe that it is. When we do that, then we reignite even ourselves. We give ourselves a different level of power. So, can envy be good? Yeah. Even in the New Yorker, they did an article which says, yeah, it can be good. Richard Smith, a psychologist at the University of Kentucky, who began studying envy in the 1980s, he writes that the feeling typically arises from a combination of two factors. The first is relevance. An envied advantage must be meaningful to us personally. A ballerina's beautiful dance is unlikely to cause envy in a lawyer, unless she once had professional dancing aspirations of her own, or his own, as the case may be. The second is similarity. An envied person must be comparable to us. Even though we're both writers, I'm unlikely to envy Ernest Hemingway's Aristotle. In describing envy, quotes the saying, potter against potter. When we admire someone, we do so from a distance. When we envy someone, we picture ourselves in their place. Admiration and envy can seem like opposites. Admiration inspires us while envy drags us down. But the psychologist Niels van de Ven of Tilburg University in the Netherlands argues that this duality may not fully capture the emotion's real complexity. When he examined the concept in cultures across the world, he found that the word itself is not as clear-cut as English speakers may think. That's the funny thing about the English language. It is not as clear-cut as we think. In English, envy is envy, but in other languages, envy takes on dual guise. In Polish, there is zazdrost and zazwisk. In Thai, chia and ritja. In Dutch, there is benny zen, from the root benny den, to be unable to bear something, and afguns, from niet gunnen, to begrudge. Van de Ven translates this pair of Dutch words as benign and malicious envy, respectively. Now, in 2009, Van de Ven attempted to find out whether the conceptual nuances of two envy languages exist even in single envy languages, like English. First, he worked with Dutch students who have two words for envy to gather baseline descriptions of how they felt benign envy, malicious envy, admiration, and resentment. Then he asked American and Spanish students who have only one word for envy to describe a time they felt envious. And he found that among the American students, both types of envy were described spontaneously at about equal rates. Among the Spanish students, benign envy was described around a third of the time. Malicious envy felt more frustrating. The experience led to a motivation to hurt the other, and one hoped that the other would fail in something, according to what Van de Ven wrote. For benign envy, the other was liked more. The situation was more inspiring, and one tried harder to attain more for oneself. You know, when people are asked about their inspirations, when people are asked about who it is that they aspire to be like, this is that benign envy. That's really what it is. Benign envy can sound a lot like admiration. The difference is that while admiration feels good, envy is painful. And so here it is, that benign envy and that admiration is a little bit closer than people think. And because we lean more towards the admiration, the liking of that person, it is not described or construed to be envy. Envy itself tends to be painful. By way of illustration, Van de Ven cites the philosopher Soren Kierkegaard, who wrote that while admiration is happy self-surrender, envy is unhappy self-assertion. Admiration can be a pleasant feeling, in large part because we think of the people we admire as being unlike ourselves. But people we benignly envy seem to be a lot like us. That realization hits closer to home, and it hurts. The differences between benign and malicious envy, meanwhile, are stark. The two spur us on to act in very different ways. In a follow-up, Van de Ven asked his subjects every evening for 2 weeks whether they'd experienced envy that day. And if they did, he probed the specific contours of the emotion and asked them to report how it had made them act. He found that the more closely their feelings aligned with malicious envy, the more they complained about the person they envied. They didn't do anything about it, they were just nasty. By contrast, if they felt benign envy, they worked harder. Benign envy may be unpleasant, but it is a driver of change for the better. This distinction dovetails with some results obtained by other psychologists. In 2011, there was a study of nearly 500 adults. The psychologists Sarah Hill, Daniel Del Priori, and Philip Vaughan found that people who were feeling envious experienced an increase in their ability to pay attention to and commit details to memory about the target of their envy. For example, they spent more time reading interviews with a group of made-up peers and performed better on a surprise memory test regarding those peers' personal details. Admiration and emotional arousal, more broadly, had no such effect. Although the study didn't explicitly differentiate between benign and malicious envy, it did measure such emotional correlates as hostility and resentfulness. Those measurements suggested that the envy felt by the study participants resembled benign envy more than its nastier counterpart. In 2011, Van de Ven and two colleagues found their way to test the differences between benign envy and admiration, and they found a way to do it more directly. In one study, 34 college students were given one of two fake reading comprehension exercises. Both exercises were biographies of fictitious scientists. Half of them were written to suggest that self-improvement is possible. If you work hard, you can succeed despite obstacles. The other half to suggest that success comes down to luck. You're either born with it or you're not. Van de Ven then asked the students to read a fake newspaper article about a fellow student, Hans de Groot. And he won a prize in an important competition. If the students had been primed by the first reading comprehension exercise, they felt benign envy toward Hans. Especially, I could do that too if I tried. That's essentially what they came out of it with. If they'd been primed by the second exercise, they felt slightly more admiration. Something like, I shouldn't even try. I'll just admire him from afar. Now, while the students who felt benign envy pledged to study more than they had in prior semesters, those who felt admiration didn't. In another study, Van de Ven found that students who felt benign envy but not malicious envy or admiration performed better on a test of creativity, the remote associates task. And in this, they were able to provide on average 11.4 correct answers as compared to 9.8 when they felt admiration and 8.5 when they felt malicious envy. No one would deny that feeling envy is unpleasant, or that feeling envious sometimes leads us down a path we wish we hadn't taken. Envy is frequently corrosive and destructive. And yet, the right kind of envy can serve an important personal and social function. It spurs competition and improvement. The title of a recent paper from the University of California, Santa Barbara, nicely captures the effect. It is called Inspired by Hope, Motivated by Envy. An interesting title, wouldn't you say? But think about it. Because the English language is so limited as compared to some other languages, and yes, I do say it is limited. When you have one word that has so many different meanings, and then you have another word which is so similar, you have to say, boy, couldn't there be another word for this? And with that question, you recognize the limits of the English language. Because now you have to start broadening your thought patterns and recognizing what it is that you're feeling. Now you're getting in touch with your feelings, asking yourself the questions: is this benign envy or is this malicious envy? Do I want to harm this person because of what they have done? Or do I look at them and say, boy, I wish I could have done that too? Or do I say, I am going to do that which they have done because I can do it? What questions are you asking when you are facing your bouts of envy or jealousy? Is it, how can I get rid of this person? Or how can I make myself better so that I can be that much better or that much more like this person? What questions are you asking? We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more. And as a matter of fact, we're going to look at how successful people use jealousy to make themselves better instead of bitter. Call your friends, tell your friends. Grab your notebooks. This part you really might want to be paying attention to. Because this here is the game changer. This is where, if nothing else has made a difference or made an impact, this should. We'll be right back.
It's Christine representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin's 2 and the night shift radio show. Yo, the thing, turn up the thing loud.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links. www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion, Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
MRE Entertainment, in association with VPAL Distribution, presents the brand new hit single.
I'm Robert French, and you're listening to my new song, every day of my life.
Now available on all major digital platforms.
Every day of my life will be just loving you. Spend the rest of my life always and just loving you. Every day of my life will be just loving you. Spend the rest of my life always and just loving you.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Yes. Akar Mantino, I'm making notes right now. You are locked in to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift.
Trick your mind. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. For meditation all the time. Believe in yourself. I said believe in yourself. Don't let them come trick your mind. Believe in yourself. Ooh, yeah. Believe in yourself. For meditation all the time. Believe in yourself. Though they come with their lies and their dirty games, watch them a beat round the bush and a call the names. Trying to capture my mind, wanna break me down. Pretend that them love me, but them take me for clown. This is a revelation. No manipulation. Jah is gonna cut them down. Believe in yourself. Don't let them come trick your mind. I said believe in yourself. Believe in for meditation all the time. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Don't let them come trick your mind. Ooh, yeah. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. For meditation all the time. Trick your mind. Believe in yourself. Believe in for meditation all the time. Yeah. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Don't let them come trick your mind. I said believe in yourself. Believe in for meditation all the time. Yeah. Believe in yourself. In yourself, in yourself.
New music from Neri, bringing us back from the break from the brand new album, The Different Sides of Me. It's called Believe in Yourself. As we address good from envy tonight on Real Talk on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Again, envy, jealousy, interchangeably used in this particular broadcast. But it's important to recognize the difference. it is also important to recognize the similarities and how you can take that and get good out of it. So according to CNBC and an article recently published, successful people use jealousy to make themselves better and not bitter. And they talk about how they go about doing this. Now, as it relates to this article, it says, too often we draw comparisons that torpedo our self-esteem and make us miserable. But sometimes, when envy sends you down a dark spiral, it's because you're not comparing yourself enough. I know some people are going, wait, what? I need to be harder on myself? Well, here's an example. You watch a pianist breeze through Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto 3. Then you tell yourself, I'm so bad at piano. And you stop right there. You don't think about the fact that the pianist practiced every day for hours since they were in preschool. Now, luckily, with the right tools, you can decode what your jealousy is trying to tell you, and then turn your emotions into positive action. So first, you can make sure your envy does not become malicious. Don't do like the fairy tale story where Sleeping Beauty, you had the queen that was so jealous of Sleeping Beauty's beauty that she poisoned her with an apple and made her sleep, put her in this deep sleep. Remember that story? Do people still tell that story to their children? Psychologists distinguish between benign envy when we admire someone and try to emulate them, and malicious envy when we dislike and begrudge the other person for having what we want. It's the difference between they have a penthouse apartment and it's cool how they got it, and I hate that their home has panoramic views and I want them to suffer. Go by the window and fall through it or something. Yeah, that's malicious. Now, it's not saying that they're not both painful. They are. But benign envy can be healthy because it motivates people to invest more efforts to be as successful as another person, while malicious envy can make one nasty. So there are some phrases that you can use to shift your thinking from malicious to benign envy. Say things like, I'm inspired by, and you say what you're inspired by. Maybe I can learn from them, or ask them to be my mentor. So you get in touch with that person that inspires you and see what you can learn from them. I haven't done what they've done yet. That yet at the end says that, hey, I intend to do this and I can do this. Every person is on their own journey. I'm grateful for mine. Now, that may or may not inspire you to push a little bit harder, but to stay in whatever it is that you're doing. And if that takes away the negative feeling, then good. Let's work with that. If my role models stopped what they're doing, I wouldn't be able to enjoy their incredible work. Shift your mindset. Now, there's also comparison. So you want to listen to your strongest triggers. Comparison can teach you what you value. You're more likely to feel intense admiration when you see someone doing something that you want for yourself, even if you haven't consciously allowed yourself to want it. Gretchen Rubin was a lawyer before she decided to pursue a career as a writer. Now she is a best-selling author. She told us that when she read about people who had amazing writing careers, she felt sick with envy. That to her was a strong signal that writing might be something that she wanted to pursue. Self-awareness helps you turn your feelings into something useful. The next time envy rears its head, explore what it is telling you by asking a few questions. What do they have that makes me feel less than? What void do I believe having it would fill? Do I really want what they have? If yes, how much? And is it worth taking action to try to get it for myself? Compare your past with your present self. That's something else that you can do. You may not always be exactly where you want to be, but chances are you're not where you used to be. Pausing to take a stock of your accomplishments and the skills you've developed as a result, this can help you feel proud of your progress. Take a few minutes at the end of each month to reflect on some prompts. What have I learned over the past few weeks? What was difficult? And how would I approach it differently given what I know now? What progress did I make? And an important part of the progress you've made is what you have learned. You might be starting over in a new place, like switching careers or ending a relationship, and that doesn't mean that you're behind. It means you're starting again, this time with experience. And when we start to look at starting over like that, it changes everything. So it's like a spring. If you look down, straight down on the top of a spring to the bottom of the spring, where you can't see the coils, some people view their lives like that. Like it's just going in circles. No start point, no end point. You're not getting anywhere. But change your perspective. Look at that spring from the side. So now you can see from the bottom to the top. And it's different. Because now you can see I started here. And although it's not a straight line, which shows my direct progress, here is where I tried. And I made a little progress. And I tried. And I made a little progress. And it kept on going up and up and up until you get to the top of the spring. That is perspective. That is taking stock of what is actually happening versus what is perceived to be happening. The difference between perception and reality. You definitely don't want to stop and rest on looking at the spring straight down from the top to the bottom versus at the side where you can see the full spring. Piece together the footage that was cut out from someone's highlight reel. Often we look at individuals that we're jealous or envious of, and we are looking at just one piece of what they have been going through or what they have achieved. We might be looking at one aspect of them, just the achievement. Where, people have always said, well, I've always heard people say, don't envy that person that is driving that high-end vehicle because you don't know what they had to do to get it. And that, I remember the first time being in that position where I was envious. I was grudging someone for being able to have a vehicle. And then I thought about that. And I thought about all the things that person could have possibly been going through because I don't know their full story. I just know that piece of it. And for that, I had to stop for a moment and then wish them well. That was growth for me. What is it for you? It's easy to believe that other people live richer lives than they actually do. But we usually don't know what's really going on. And when we don't think through another person's behind the scenes, we're more likely to feel malicious envy. The next time you're overcome with envy because of an Instagram post or a LinkedIn update, take a step back. Stop for a moment and ask a few questions. What do I know that this other person, how do I know that this other person isn't struggling in some way? What am I proud of that doesn't show up on social media? What would others be envious of if I did share it? Social media has a way of creating the perfect picture. And we often see people on social media and we place them on various pedestals or on various tiers in life because of what we see on social media. Don't be fooled by social media. Everybody's going to put their best foot forward. Nobody's going to talk about the pain that they're going through really and truly to say that this is not who I am, but this is what I am. I have to eat bread and butter every day in order to pay my light bill. But they're not putting that out there. They're going to put that one time that they got dressed up to go to this event and they're looking like $1 million. And you see that and you go, but this person's flossing. And you never know what they're going through. In fact, you would be in a position that you could help them. But you would never know because that is all you see. So now you're envying them for nothing. Much ado about nothing. Since we mentioned Shakespeare's writings earlier, that's one of them. That's much ado about nothing. It's also possible to get too caught up in your own highlight reel. If you're applying filters to every photo that you share, or only talking about the kudos you got from your boss, you risk feeling bad for not actually living the life that you're portraying. Think a bit more carefully about what you're trying to portray with the public stories you tell about yourself and why. It's fine to share exciting life updates, but consider balancing it out or toning it down a little bit. Tone down the language, for example, so it feels more authentic to your audience. That way, now you're a real person. You're not just a fairy tale. You're not just something made up. Now you show the different sides of, like Neri's new album, Different Sides of Me. You show the different sides of you. And you put yourself more at ease. You're not being envious. You're not being jealous. So you're not stressing yourself out. Because with these emotions, with this malicious envy, you exert a lot of energy. With being jealous, that's a lot of energy. Admiration is also a lot of energy. But it also can drive you to use some of that energy to make yourself better. And it is not to say that you shouldn't pay attention to your acknowledgements. As a matter of fact, you should recognize your own acknowledgements. And many of us have things that we have accomplished and we just put it one side because we don't want to blow our own trumpet. Well, who's going to blow your trumpet for you? If you don't talk about it, if you don't acknowledge it, if you don't recognize it, who's going to recognize it for you? We won't know unless you tell us. So we should put it out there, shouldn't we? And I'm not saying we should brag and boast and be advertising it all the time to everyone and this be the only thing that there is that matters. And this be the defining thing of you. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we should acknowledge for ourselves and share with others when we have these little accomplishments. Because like those who have great accomplishments, they have great failures too. When we hear the stories of Steve Harvey and Tyler Perry and these successful people with millions of dollars now, at one point they lived in cars. And if you've never lived in your car, then you've always been ahead of what they were at one point in their life. And it just so happens that they got the break that put them where they are now. But they put in the work to get there. Are you putting in work? What work are you putting in? And if you are putting in work, who is seeing it? Are you putting it out there for people to see? Are you reaching out to people? Are you networking? Are there things that you could be doing differently other than envying and being jealous? Are there things that you could be doing? And when you acknowledge that, when you ask those questions, then you can start progressing into something more. You can start progressing onto something else. You can make that next step. Because that thing that was in your way, that boulder, you are now scaling it. And at some point in time, you look back at it and go, hey, I'm up here now. This has been my stepping stone. That boulder is a boulder no more. It was that thing that got you to that next place where you wanted to be. That was your stepping stone. And at that point, you are now more at ease. You have found some peace. Jumping into musical therapy. Kicking it off with G. Cole. That's the title of the track. Peace of Mind is a Holiday.
And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make my journey, it just blows my mind away. It's such a blessing to be alive in this world that we all reside. And you can call it to what you want to. I just love my chilling time. I get a thrill like every day, sitting here and watching the children play. I read them a book and I tell them stories. You should hear the things they say. And every time somebody greets me, says hello, I take it easy. I say hello now, how you feeling? You be safe, it was a pleasure meeting you. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make my journey, it just blows my mind away. There's no reason to get upset. Jah says to do your part, and He's gonna do the rest. Don't hurt your heart, it only causes stress. You may not realize it, but you're truly blessed. And I know sometimes it's hard. You've worked all day and you don't see rewards. Come on, my brother, let down your guard. Aim for the skies, you might just reach the stars. I know it's money that you're trying to make, but if you're tired, you should take a break. It's not worth it if you break down. There's just a way too much at stake. Take a vacation if you want to. Spend some time with the ones that want you to be okay, because they love you. Oh my God, I said I wanna thank you. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind
This is the sound of Candyman. It's titled Every Day is Mother's Day.
Strong enough to carry you. Oh, Mama, you are heaven. You're my mother. Come on now, sisters. I'll help you to carry her. Mom's burden's not too much to bear. We get there. So now we're strong enough to carry her. Yeah, she in heaven. She's her mother. If I'm a lady with love, if I'm a lady with gladness, and all my mama's arms filled with gladness and love, and all my offsprings should love one another for 9 months long. My mommy, she carried me. My love can't be too much for the aches that she feels. Now I'm grown up, strong enough to carry you. Whoa, well, she in heaven, yeah. She's our mother.
So you feeling a little pressure? Heat at on a wada wada. What you mean this is a depression? Turn around and it's just compression. Path of destiny with a volcanic eruption. Everything in life have a purpose.
This is the sound of Christina Alicia. It's called Black Diamond.
This pressure is what you need right now. Embrace the path and you will last. Like diamond, don't you see? When you rise, you will be that diamond. Everyone wants to see. See the vision ahead. Write it plain and clear. Plant a seed of heads, then trust it to spread. Guard your heart and keep it clean. Forgive, release the pain. Everything in life have a purpose. Yeah, black diamond in the rough. Yes, it's time, but this pressure is what you need right now. Embrace the path and you will last. Black diamond, don't you see? When you rise, you will be the diamond. Everyone wants to see.
music like that. And I play and take it back as Mama Sterling back to top. Coming in hard, giving praises to the Lord. Sing it out, don't Mama Sterling.
Thank you, Lord, for what you've done for me.
You touched my life.
This is the sound of the late Ivan Sterling, working out with Richard Stevens and Little Lenny. It's called Thank You, Lord.
Thank you, Lord, for another chance to sing. I'm gonna sing along, sing along. I was in a bad situation. I live each day in serious desperation.
I tell you,
thought my life was over, but you rescued me. With all my heart, I'm giving you the glory. Thank you, Lord, for what you've done for me.
You touched my life with your blessing.
Thank you, Lord, for what you're doing now, right now. Thank you, Lord, for every little thing.
That's right, you know I'm not stressing.
Thank you, Lord, for another chance to sing.
Make little Lenny tell them this. Them say that one of their door, but dash it way. One heap of people gone doing on in there. You have your life and ambition, still up on a mission, and now one more chance you have it out there. If each one help, one better must come. So when you get your blessing, God and go share some. And when you see another man fall on the ground, lift him up, no bother keep him down. Mama Sterling sing.
Thank you, Lord, for what you've done for me.
You touch my life with your blessing.
Thank you, Lord, for what you're doing now, right now. Thank you, Lord, for every little thing.
That's right, you know I'm not stressing.
Thank you, Lord, for another chance to sing.
So let me tell you something. Some people need a little food up on the table. I don't know where to find them. And you should give a little blessing if you're able. With humbleness behind it. No greater deed, no greater love. No better way to show it. There is no feeling like the way I feel when I know I'm helping.
Thank you, Lord, for what you've done for me.
Mama Sterling sing.
Thank you, Lord, for what you're doing now.
Mama Sterling sing.
Thank you, Lord, for every little thing. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Lord, for another chance to sing.
I was born as a brilliant child. I never knew what the future holds for me. I can't count all the tears that fall, all the struggles though I worked so hard. I never knew where the day would come when I rise from the gutter and the slum. Now I'm seeing the rising sun. Now the glitters and the riches can't done.
This is on a West Rock.
I was born as a star.
Track called Born as a Winner.
I don't need no one. Tell me who I am.
Reasons you don't need to feel envious.
Hear me down.
Reasons you don't need to be jealous.
And each time
because you were born as a winner.
They just push me further to the top, 'cause I'm a winner.
Taking this one more time from the tippy top. Listen to this.
Well, I was born as a brilliant child. I never knew what the future holds for me. I can't count all the tears that fall, all the struggles though I worked so hard. I never knew where the day would come when I rise from the gutter and the slum. Now I'm seeing the rising sun. Now the glitters and the riches can't done, 'cause I'm a winner. I was born as a star. I don't need no one. Tell me who I am. Many try to tear me down. They want to see me on the ground. But each time they set their trap, they just push me further to the top, 'cause I'm a winner. I was born as a star. I don't need no one to tell me who I am. I'm a winner. I was born as a star. I don't need no one me tell you about my life. Long before my kids and wife, how I grew from rags to riches didn't come by sudden flight. I had to burn the midnight lamp when my friends and my foes them around. Education, my mom used to say, so sad she had passed away. I had to push myself through school, one shirt, one pants and shoes. Now the rest is history. I'm all that a man can be, 'cause I'm a winner. I was born as a star. I don't need no one to tell me who I am. Yes, I'm a winner. I was born as a star. I don't need no one to tell me who I am. Many try to tear me down, they wanna see me on the ground, but each time they set their trap, they just push me further to the top, 'cause I'm a winner. I was born as a star. I don't need no one to tell me who I am. I'm a winner. I was born as a star. I don't need no one to tell me who I am.
You are the melody to my song, my favorite chord on my guitar.
This is the sound of Kavan.
You're my warmth on the
It's called You Make Me Right.
This song is my appreciation for your love. 'Cause maybe I don't say it enough, but woman, you make me strong. You light up my life. Your voice is my song. You make me right. You make me right. Oh, you give me every day. The question is, you make me right. I wanna thank you every day, in every way. The rocky road with you is fine. Girl, I'm well because I know you're mine. Give me your smile is everything. Baby, you're the beat that makes my heart. You make my heart sing. 'Cause maybe I don't say it enough. Woman, you make me strong. You light up my life. And your voice is my song. And baby, I don't show it enough. But you taught me love. You showed me love. Ooh, you make me right. You make me right. Oh, you give me every day. The questions asked. You make me right. I wanna thank you each and every day. I go junto pra sempre bater o Messi. I go junto pra sempre bater o Eminem. I go sell a vida e esse paquinho c'est bénédiction, toute belle chanter l'amour. C'est où qu'est-ce qu'à faire, c'est où sont les mots. Musique, moi, la vie, moi. Et où Haïti pour moi, chérie. Et où Haïti. You make me right. From when you give me every day, the questions asked.
So, you know, with tomorrow being Thanksgiving Day, after tomorrow you're gonna hear nothing but Christmas music, right? So guess what? Let me give you a head start.
It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights in the streets spreading so much cheer. I should be playing.
This is the sound of Ed Robinson.
But
I should say Mr. Ed Robinson.
I don't want to miss out on the holiday.
You know, he's a married man now, you know?
At your face. I should be playing in the winter snow. But I'ma be under the mistletoe.
So now that he's married, do I call him Mr. Ed Robinson or do I call him Mr. Joanna Marie? How does it go? I'll stop. I'll behave myself.
It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights in the streets spreading so much.
The track is called Mistletoe.
Playing in the winter snow. But I'ma be under the mistletoe. I don't wanna miss out on the holiday. But I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow. But I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shorter with you, shorter with you, shorter with you, yeah, with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah. Everyone's gathering around the fire. Chestnuts roasting like a hot July. I should be chilling with my folks, I know, but I'll be under the mistletoe. Word on the street, Santa's coming tonight. Reindeer flying through the sky so high. I should be making my list, I know, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shorter with you, shorter with you, shorter with you, shorter with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah. Shorter with you, shorter with you, shorter with you, baby, with you. Under the mistletoe, oh yeah. The wise men follow the star. Where I follow my heart, and it led me to a miracle and love. Don't you buy me a thing, no, 'cause I am feeling one thing. Your lips on my lips, that's a merry, merry Christmas. Show me with you, yeah, show me with you, yeah, with you, yeah, with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah, yeah. I don't wanna miss out on the holidays, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Share me with you, yeah, share me with you, yeah, share with you, share with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah, baby. Share me with you, share me with you, yeah, oh yeah. Under the mistletoe, kissing you, baby, yeah, oh baby, yeah. Under the mistletoe with you, yeah, baby. Kissing you, baby, kissing you, shorty, yeah. Under the mistletoe.
Hang all the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together.
This is on a G-Mac. His rendition of This Christmas.
Fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Whoa, whoa, yeah. dice and cards are here. My world is filled with cheer and you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes outshines the town they do. This Christmas, fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Shake a hand now. Shake a hand now. Oh, the fireside is blazing bright.
Hey, this is quite funny. This is the sound of Mr. Kirk Davis, aka Little Kirk. Actually, the cousin of G Mac. The track is called Can't Hold I Down. It's a whole family affair right here, bouncing through musical therapy.
I will like him clear right path right and now some men not just a shot like it's out the door. Yeah, him give me a clean hands and I'm pure in heart. Me up it from the start again. Me got it clean like a whistle devil. Rock away no will no shine and will me listen there. None of this one are the most like children but on the ball. And the whole of no listen. Jah will lie down. You see the most like alone I give my way the triple crown, yeah. Then Jah keep I down. We keep burning them with words, powers and sound. Jah will lie down. Well, this a serious business, and now me go round. Jah will lie down. Jah will lie down. Now time at all. We've been through the storm, through the rain. Thank you for blessing me again. We tried it on the street, we run it through the lane. I went up your gunshot and it's a market on the main, yeah. Father, you carry me through. Well, many I call about the chosen of you. Me no know who are you. What if your heart no clean? Them who don't care no true, we just tell them. They can't hold lie down. You sit down most and alone. I give my way the champion crown, yeah. They can't keep lie down. We keep burning them with words, powers and sound. Joy, can't hold lie down. Well, this a serious business and I'm make a round. Why, yeah, mama, oh, yeah. Say though I want you the valley of the shadow of death, I say I am nice shall fear not a giver. God Jack is with me, it's rough than this time. I know shall rock you, you know, Jack shall protect them can't lie down. You see the most I alone, I give my way the temple crown, yeah. They can't keep I down. We keep burning them with words, powers and sound. Can't hold lie down. Well, this a serious business and now maybe the ground. Can't hold lie down. Down, yeah. I will lock him clear right path right and now so we're not just a shot like this of the dark. Yeah, him give me a clean hands and a pure in heart. We up it from the start, then blocks again. We got it clean like a whistle devil. Walk away, no will no shine, and will no blessing there. One of these one of the most I keep burning them with words, powers and sound. Them can't hold I down. Well, this a serious thing, this a no merry-go round. No, can't hold I down. Jah reign rise up, yeah.
The wicked and the evil have it humble. Enough of them humble, so me humble them down. Give thanks for what you have from sun up to sundown. If you live in a glass house, do not go so. Hypocrite and parasite have it humble. Enough of them humble, so me humble them down. Give thanks for what you have from sun up to sundown. If you live in a glass house, do not go so. Well, I give thanks for me life, cause I have survived from nothing to something. And chew a little money start run, me now forget how the flour make the dumpling. All when nothing now go, me have a smile on me face. And me know Jaja love me for all of me days. And if you don't like what me say, me I tell you say umbre is best you promote.
This is the sound of Gappy Ranks. Track called Tumble Down. As we close out the night with the DJ Kevin Stew Real Talk Night. And for this week, this Thanksgiving week, I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. Those of you celebrating, those of you traveling, be safe. Those who are envying and jealous, being jealous, you're jealousing. Ask the questions. Why am I comparing myself? What can I do better? As we navigate this thing called life, do remember to look out for members of our community. And your community is not just development that you live in, it spreads far and wide. So those that you pass on the bus, on the plane, the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is Kevin Stew, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, all things being equal. Right here, kevinstew.com and affiliates, 10 p.m. Eastern. If the Father allows, I'll be here on Saturday on Reggae Global Radio on Saturday for the Saturday Stew, 8 p.m. Eastern. But until we meet again, y'all take care of yourselves. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. From right here in South Florida, I bid you all a very good night. Y'all be good. If you can't be good at it. Take care until we do it again. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.